Welcome back to another math lesson. Let's start by taking out our notebooks and putting the heading on our paper. And today's lesson is going to be a review. So mixed numbers to improper fractions. And I'm just going to draw an arrow to show that they're going to go back and forth, as well as comparing fractions to determine which is greater. Please be sure to put the date on your paper. Okay, let's start with what I feel like is the easier of the two, and let's turn mixed numbers into improper fractions. And I always like to start with some examples. So let's start with 3 2/5. Let's make that into an improper fraction. Okay, what a little trick that another teacher taught me is called the bean. And you always multiply the bean. So 3 times 5 is 15. And you're going to add that guy on the outside there who wants to be part of the party in the bean, but they won't let him in. So 15 plus 2 equals 17. And my denominator is going to stay the same. And the denominator in this case is 5. So my answer is 17 over 5. I'm only going to do one more example of this because this should be a review for you guys. So let's have you guys try this one on your own. Let's have you try 6 3/9. Please turn that into an improper fraction. Stop this video and begin play once you're ready to check your answers. Okay, let's see if you're correct. Draw the bean. We're going to multiply that party of people in the bean. 6 times 9 is 54. Plus that guy on the outside is 3. So my answer in this case, 57. And my denominator is the same, which is 9. Easy peasy. Okay, let's move on to the next step then, which is improper back to mixed. So we're going to go the reverse. I'm going to give you one that looks like this, and you're going to have to make it into a mixed number with a whole number and a fraction. Okay, first example. Let's try 35/6. All right. How many times does 35 go into 6 without going over? And if I'm not sure, I'm going to go off to the side and I'm going to divide it out. 35 goes into 6, 6 goes into 35. Well, I think it's 6. 6 times 6 is, nope, that's 36. That's too big. So it must be 5. 6 times 5 is 30. Subtract. This is all the information I need to turn that improper fraction into a mixed number. So this is going to become my whole number, my big number. That guy on top, he's king number. That king whole number. And my denominator is going to stay the same. So I know where that goes. I've used him. What am I left with? That guy that's hanging out on the bottom, he's going to be moved to the top. He's going to go to the numerator. And my answer is 5 5/6. All right, so let's do another one of those. Let's have you guys try 34/4. Please pause this tape and turn this back on when you're ready to check your answer. Okay, let's see if you're correct. I'm going to go off to the side and I'm going to ask myself, how many times does 4 go into 34 without going over? Okay, well 4 times 5 is 20. That's not big enough. 4 times 6, 24. 4 times 7, 28. 4 times 8 is 32. We're getting close. 4 times 9 is 36, and that's too big. So, looks like it goes in there 8 times. 32. Okay, subtract. And I have 2 left over. All right, so remember that guy at the top, that whole number, he becomes the king. He is the whole number king. And I know my denominator stays the same, which is 4. Which means that 2 goes right on top of that 4. What do you notice about this problem, though? Is this fraction in lowest terms? Absolutely not. Hopefully this is one that you know is 1/2. If you are not sure that 2/4 is 1/2, you can always go off to the side and do your division ladder. Okay, does 2 go into both of them? Yep, because they're both even numbers. How many times does 2 go into 2? 1. How many times 2 go into 4? 2. And there's my answer. But don't forget about that king whole number when you're writing your final answer. All right, let's try one more of those. And this one might be a little tricky. Let's do 35. For some reason, I like that number today. Over 5. So please pause this tape and turn this back on when you're ready to check your answer. Okay, let's see if you're correct. So let's divide it out. How many times does 5 go into 35 without going over? Since we all know our facts, we know that is 7 times. Uh-oh, I have none left over. Well, what does my answer look like then? Well, in the cases where this number down here is a 0, there is not a fraction that goes with that king whole number. So this number right here, that king, he stands alone. My answer is just 7. Okay? All right, I'm going to turn my page, and now we are going to move on to comparing fractions. All right, when I compare fractions, I need to determine which is greater than or which is less than, or are they equal? Okay? So let's write out the signs. Greater than, less than, and equal. Okay, so I'm comparing examples. Okay, let's keep it simple. 3/4 and 1/3. How do I do that? And if you remember, 1 times 4 is 4, so that goes up top, always up top. 3 times 3 is 9, up top, always up top. Now, which is bigger, 9 or 4? That's right, 9, so I'm going to put my greater than sign in there, and I'm done. Okay, let's do another problem. Let's do 6/20 and 3/10. But I don't know my facts up to 20. Well, that's okay, because we do know 2 times 3 is 6, and then we could just add that 0. So that's going to be 60. And we all know 6 times 10, 10 times 6 is 60. So these two numbers are equal. One last problem. 5/9 and 6/10. Okay, please pause this video and start it up again when you're ready to check your answer. Okay, let's see if you're correct. 9 times 6 is 54. 10 times 5 is 50. All right, so 5/9 is less than 6/10. Once you have all these notes completed, you can let your teacher know that you are ready for your assignment.